Finally, Goldilocks sat down on the small chair. Her face lit up with a big, happy smile. This little chair was not too hard and not too soft at all. The small chair felt just right for her. Goldilocks wiggled happily and bounced up and down with joy. She liked this little chair very much indeed. But suddenly, there was a loud cracking sound. Goldilocks had bounced too hard. The legs of the small chair broke and she fell down to the floor. Goldilocks sat on the floor surrounded by the broken pieces of the little chair. She felt a bit sorry, but was not hurt at all. She stood up slowly. Goldilocks stood up and brushed herself off. She was feeling even more tired now. She noticed a staircase and decided to climb up to explore more. At the top of the stairs, she found a cozy bedroom with 3 beds inside. There was a big bed, a medium bed, and a cute small bed in a row. Goldilocks climbed onto the big bed first and lay down to rest. But the bed was far too high and too firm. It was not comfortable for her at all. Then she tried the medium bed and lay down softly on it. But this bed was too low and too lumpy. She tossed and turned, but could not get comfy. Finally, Goldilocks lay down on the small bed with a blue blanket. A big smile spread across her face. This bed was not too high and not too low. The small bed felt perfectly just right for her tired little body. It was so soft and warm and cozy. Goldilocks snuggled under the blanket happily. She closed her eyes and let out a happy little sigh. The pillow was fluffy and the blanket was warm. Goldilocks felt so peaceful and comfortable now. Within just a few moments, the tired little girl fell fast asleep in Baby Bear's cozy little bed. She slept deeply and dreamed the sweetest of dreams. Meanwhile, the bear family had finished their lovely walk in the forest. Papa Bear, Mama Bear, and Baby Bear walked happily back toward their cottage. When they arrived home, Papa Bear noticed that the front door was wide open. That was very strange. They were sure they had left it only slightly open. The 3 bears walked inside carefully and looked around. Papa Bear went straight to the table and looked at his bowl of porridge with surprise. Papa Bear saw that someone had been eating his porridge. The spoon was in a different place. Mama Bear checked her bowl and found the same strange thing. Baby Bear looked at his little bowl and his eyes grew very wide. His bowl was completely empty. Someone had eaten all of his yummy porridge up. Then Papa Bear looked at his chair and saw it had been moved. Mama Bear noticed her chair cushion was all squished down flat by someone sitting on it. Baby Bear ran to his favorite little chair and gasped with shock. His chair was broken into many pieces on the floor. Someone had broken it completely. The 3 bears looked at each other with worried and confused faces. Someone had come into their home while they were away. But who could it possibly be? Papa Bear decided to check upstairs. The 3 bears quietly climbed the wooden staircase together to see what was there. Papa Bear checked his big bed. The blanket was messy. Someone had been lying in it. Mama Bear found the same thing on hers. Baby Bear walked to his small bed and stopped suddenly. His mouth fell open wide. A little girl was sleeping in his bed. She had golden curly hair and slept peacefully under his blue blanket. Baby Bear could not believe his own eyes at all. Baby Bear called to Papa Bear and Mama Bear. They hurried over and stood around the bed, staring at the sleeping girl. The bears looked at each other in wonder. They had never seen a human child before. She looked so small and peaceful. Papa Bear, Mama Bear, and Baby Bear stood silently around the bed. They did not know what to do about the stranger. The 3 bears waited quietly with curious faces. Who was this girl? And why had she come into their home? Suddenly, Goldilocks began to wake up. She opened her eyes and saw 3 furry faces staring down at her from above. Her eyes grew very wide. She realized 3 big bears were standing around her bed. Goldilocks screamed loudly in fright. Goldilocks jumped out of the bed as fast as she could. Her heart was beating fast. She looked for a way to escape. She spotted an open window with sunlight streaming through. Goldilocks ran to the window and jumped right through it. She landed safely on the soft grass below. Goldilocks scrambled to her feet and ran as fast as she possibly could. Goldilocks disappeared into the forest, never looking back. She ran until the cottage was completely out of sight. The three bears watched from the window as the girl vanished into the trees. They were surprised, but glad no one was hurt. From that day on, Goldilocks never returned, and she always remembered to ask before entering someone else's home.